everyone, Raymond Mhor here, and I'm a minute late. I apologize for that. I was making some notes and, wanted to make sure I give a good show tonight. So doing all my notes and scripts and stuff. So tonight's topic is basically getting your medicine cabinet in order for the SHTF, and that's where the poo hits the fan. And the S stands for poo. So you can interpret that any way you want. But tonight what I wanted to talk to you about is there's a lot of things going on, and one of the things that really drew my attention is that I was in Walmart last week actually, and I noticed I was just looking for, I got bad allergies, so I was looking for allergy meds and things, and the shelves were rather empty. And in fact, what was very interesting is that a lot of the generic brands were missing, where some of the name brands were still there. I tend to like to buy more generic brands just because they're less expensive and things. There are certain things I will not skimp on, and I will buy name brand. But I was noticing that a lot of the brands were missing. And so I just, well, hey, is this just Walmart or anything? But after that, I decided to go to Kroger's and go, I had to do some grocery shop. I don't like Walmart's produce very much, so I tend to go to Kroger's for my produce and everything. You just have better quality at Kroger's. Anyways, while I was there, I was either, hey, I'm going to check and see if they, got allergy meds and everything. And even they were short. The shelves were pretty thin, and I'm not saying that everything was gone, but the shelves at Kroger's also, a lot of the cold, flu, allergy, everything like that medicines were pretty skimpy, and so just not much there. So anyways, got my shopping done and everything, and on the way home, I just happened to see a CVS. So I just pulled in there really quickly and just went to check out the cold, flu, and so forth aisle, and same thing, the shelves are bare. Now I don't know if this is just something particular to my area or what, but I've been noticing that a lot of the over-the-counter pain relievers, cold flu medicines, stomach meds, because that was another thing. I was looking for some Maalox and I couldn't find it anywhere. So it was interesting. I got on some of my prepper groups on Facebook, and I just posted, hey folks, I'm noticing this. Are you guys noticing it too? And they also are noticing it. And so what we're seeing is a lot of kind of vacant shelves, or not saying totally empty, but we are seeing food shelves being kind of, picked over and everything. But I'm also now noticing this with the over-the-counter drugs. And, again, is this just due to supply chain and everything, or what's going on? I don't know. But I did notice that a lot of these meds were missing, and just in very short supply. I, looking around and everything. So, and like I said, I checked with some of my Facebook groups, and they too are noticing the same thing. But something else that I wanted to point out is I enjoy reading the Farmer's Almanac. I garden, I enjoy doing that and everything. But the new Farmer's Almanac came out just recently, and the Farmer's Almanac is predicting a very harsh winter this year. Now, why do I say that? And it's because one of my more favorite video, preppers and everything on YouTube that I tend to watch a lot is Appalachia Homestead with Patera. I forget how to say her name, but Appalachia Homestead with Patera. And she just lives, I don't want to say down the road, but she just lives a little bit south of me. So we're kind of in the same zone, or the growing zone, or the same sort of zone and everything. I'm 7B, I think she's a 7 also. I don't know if she's 7B, but she's in and around that same area as we are. And she did a really interesting video, and where she said she does this every year. She took a persimmon seed and cracked the persimmon seed open, And she showed it to the camera and everything, and you looked in there and you saw a little spoon, or at least something that's shaped like a spoon. And she said that persimmons will do, one of three things in the persimmon seeds, and this is how you can tell what winter's going to be like. There's a spoon, a knife, and a fork. And so a spoon means that you're going to be shoveling snow, so you're going to have a pretty harsh winter and everything. A fork means that it's going to be pretty easy going, lots of food and everything, because you eat food with a fork. And then the knife means that it's going to be a very windy winter because the wind cuts like a knife. Now, this is an Appalachian folklore, but she's been doing this now for the past several years, and every year has been correct. And so it's interesting that the Farmer's Almanac is basically predicting a very harsh winter. And when I say harsh winter, it depends on where you live. I'm looking at central U.S. over. I'm not looking at the southern states really or anything, although Texas might get snow. We are known to get snow down there, so Texas may even see some snow and everything too. So it is looking like there might be a rather harsh winter. And so with winter comes cold, flu, sniffles, and then another thing, those of you who have kids, then your kids just recently started school. Now, when school starts, your kids usually will get some sort of sniffle or crud or something. It happens every year. And then what happens is they bring it home. And then you get the sniffles and crud and everything. And so this happens every year. We know this is going to happen. And what I tried to do this year is another reason why I was looking for all these cold, flu, and everything meds, is to basically prevent any of this going on. And so it was very interesting to see that a lot of these meds and everything are already missing or not being restocked. But again, very, very harsh winter. We've got kids coming in, going back into school, and they're bringing home the crud. And so there's a lot of things going on that are kind of, putting some odds against us about possibly getting sick and everything. And the big thing is that you want to really work hard at preventing the flu. And one of the things that happened to me is that we did live through a pandemic. I was living in New Braunfels, and back then, and what happened was there was an H1N1 pandemic, and we had something like 1,000 to 1,500 people die in just a matter of days. And they literally locked the city down, closed all the businesses, made everybody stay home. There were armed guards. There were only two places that were open, Walmart and Walgreens. And then everything else was closed down. And in fact, there were armed guards in front of the stores preventing people from, rushing in and everything. So as soon as someone went in, someone could, or went out, someone could go in. And so they were really controlling how people were going in and out. They made you stay in your car, and the cop would point to you to come in, and all this. It was crazy. But people could not go shopping. They could not go to work. The kids couldn't go to school. Anything like that. They locked the city of New Braunfels down tighter than you know what. So anyways, I say all that is because one of the things that I did have on hand, and again, it's thinking ahead, I'm a big herbal, natural medicine sort of person, and I had on hand several things. Now, I do want to tell you that a lot of the things that I'm talking about here and everything, go to RaymondMhor.com, MHOR.com, RaymondMhor.com, and you'll see my article, OTC meds are disappearing off the shelf, or some title like that. I think it's like the second article from the top of the articles and everything. You'll see a bunch of H1N1 flu bugs. Anyways, that article has a lot of the stuff that I'm talking about here, including what I use to help prevent and cure the flu. And some of the things that I do use is, and if you have a list, get some pen and paper out. So I'm going to write this down, but it's better just go to the website and check out the article. And but I have colloidal silver on hand, I have sambucol on hand, I have echinacea on hand, I have propolis, ginger root, vitamin C, and activated charcoal. I always try to keep all these things on hand because as soon as I see that, you know, anyone's starting to get the symptoms or showing any symptoms or anything like that, I dose them up. And these are things that you can give to kids, give to adults, no problem. And sambucol, what sambucol is basically elderberry syrup. What you can do is pour this stuff on your pancakes. But what sambucol does is boosts your immune system. Colloidal silver also is antiviral, anti-inflammatory, and oh gosh, what's the other? Antimicrobial? I forget. But colloidal silver is another thing. So I have a spray bottle, so 3 or 4 shots of colloidal silver. Echinacea is another vitamin that will help boost your antibodies and everything. Propolis, same thing. Propolis comes from beehives, and this is what keeps a beehive sterile. Beehive is a sterile environment, and so propolis is very good. Ginger root is excellent for tummies and sore tummies and nausea and so forth. Vitamin C helps boost, again, your immune system, and everything helps push back the flu. And then activated charcoal is another thing that you can take. And again, this helps settle the tummy, get any toxins or anything out of your system. So these are things that you can take. And if, again, you go to that article on RaymondMhor.com, you'll see the doses that I give myself and I give the family and things. But get some of this stuff, get it on hand. And what I wanted to show you also is what I have. You know, putting away some of my notes. For example, this is my flu box, and in it, you know, I have everything that I need to possibly treat cold and flu. So again, we have, you know, NyQuil, we have cold and flu multi-symptom. Now, sambucol is something that I will name by name brand. So sambucol is great, folks. I mean, this stuff is proven to cure and prevent the flu. This stuff works, and it's actually an Israeli invention. They discovered it that the black elderberry will actually cure the flu. You know, so I keep sambucol on hand. Other things, you know, tussin, Robitussin, DM, so that'll help. Mucinex and everything. And then this stuff is great. Zinc cold therapy, you know, again, helps you. This kicks a cold right out. So love it. Alka-Seltzer, cold and flu. Another thing here, and this is, I added this to our box last year. And this is a finger oxygen meter. And the reason I did that is because at one time I thought Cynthia had COVID. And one of the main symptoms of COVID is a drop of oxygen levels in your body. And so this is what this measures, is the oxygen levels in your body. And about a 94, 93, anything below 90, you need to get to the hospital. But this is only 15 bucks on Amazon, great investment. Now, some of you are saying, oh wow, man, how do I afford? Buy one thing at a time. So get cough syrup, you know, when you're at Walmart one time. Next time, you know, just get some cold and flu symptom, or get some, you know, NyQuil or something. And you can see, all this is Walmart or off name brand. Get some vitamin C, you know, other things like that. I'm also, again, big into essential oils. And this is oil of oregano. And so some of you who know essential oils and everything, oil oregano will also kick the bugs out of your system. So there's some other things here. Eucalyptus, this is another good thing. Now, you don't take this orally or anything, but you can dab a little bit under your nose, or if you have an atomizer for you know, essential oils and everything, put some of this in there, and it helps you breathe. It's a very minty, pepperminty sort of flavor, but it opens your nasal passages up and will help you with that. So very good stuff, but you buy one thing at a time, maybe two. I don't know what your budget is, but that's what I've done. And here's another box, you know, because of Sarah has her own box of meds, And the reason I keep these in boxes is that if something happens, I just go grab the box and boom, everything's here. And so I have anything and everything that I need to treat with Sarah. You know, I got her little dose things here. I got some pain reliever. I got some ibuprofen. I got some nausea tablets. She's got really bad allergies, and so, you know, allergy meds and things. And again, the key is not buying this all at once. You know, buy onesie twosies, and you will be able to then, you know, afford this stuff over time. I got these bins, you know, these are these Walmart bins that you get and everything, you know, you recognize them. I get them at Walmart for, you know, $2-3, but you do this, Energy, you know, like that stuff. Yeah. So, but what you do is you slowly start building up your little bins, and every time you go to Walmart or wherever you go grocery shopping, and just buy 1 or 2 of these products, and then you're good to go. Other things that I recommend, and again, you can go to the website, RaymondMhor.com, read this article. I am just skimming some of the products that I'm recommending, but another thing, because Cynthia, you know, when I was scared about her having COVID and everything, stethoscope. And you can get on YouTube, learn how to use these things. Basically, you're counting beats, you're listening for irregularities, which you can hear. And another thing, and this is something I've actually used quite often, and this is a miniature surgical kit. Now, what I did add is these are needles, and so these are actually upholstery needles, because I don't know about you, I don't know if you ever tried sewing up human skin. It is rather thick, and so getting some upholstery needles on hand is a good idea, because you're gonna have a heck of a time. So, but we got forceps in here, we got scalpels. These are scalpels right here. And something that you can do is, if you're looking for sutures and scalpels and things like that, get on Amazon and you can type in expired medical equipment. And medical students buy these things and use these things because they've been expired. So for example, this is a brand spanking new in the pack, never been opened, tongue depressor. And you can see here, and it's going to be backwards, but this expired August 2015. I mean, it's a piece of wood, folks. Why is this expired? And so you can get a lot of inexpensive medical equipment, such as tongue depressors and bandages and just all these other things that are inexpensive off Amazon, and these are all for medical students. So you can buy all this stuff super cheap and then stock up a really nice home first aid kit, or, you know, medicine cabinet or something like that. So look into getting some of these things. Start slow. I tell people to take baby steps. And so every time you're in Walmart, choose, you know, $5. Every time I go into Walmart, spend $5 and get something for your medical supplies, because the winters are going to be bad. And then because of that, I think the flu season is going to be really bad this year as well. So why not prevent versus catching up and trying to cure? So I'm all about prevention and everything. So the big thing is with what I've been seeing with a lot of the over-the-counter drugs kind of being disappearing off the shelves, and talking to some of these other people on Facebook and some of these other groups and everything, it is looking like, you know, these things are starting to disappear. So buy things now, start ordering things now, start getting some things now, so that you're not behind the 8 ball. And I mean, we all remember COVID and what happened there, and anything that was COVID related, or toilet paper, you know, oh my gosh, why not stock up on these things? No, we all know cold flu season is coming. We all know that, you know, sniffles are coming. The kids are going to have crud and everything like that. Why not start stocking up now, so that when it does hit, and it will hit because it hits every year, that you have things on hand and you're not stuck behind the 8 ball, and you're not freaking going through Walmart fighting for stinking NyQuil. Give me that damn NyQuil. So, you know, you're not doing that. You want to stay ahead of the curve and, you know, not behind the 8 ball. and just stay on top of it. And if you do this, you're good to go. And then finally, expiration. I've done a lot of research, but I'm not a, expiration, a lot of these are not expired. What a lot of these things do is best by date. Excuse me. The best by date. And stores have to recognize that. And they call that expired. But it isn't. There's a lot of meds that you can still use, even though it's past the best by date and all that other thing. So, meds are good. A lot of times you'll see an expiration date. 9 times out of 10, medications that are over the counter have to be good for at least 2 years after the expiration date. So just because you see something that might be in your medicine cabinet that is expired last year, don't throw it away. It's still good. It's maintaining its potency and everything. Give it a couple years. And then if you still haven't used it, you can chuck it and resupply yourself and stuff. So, but that's everything that I wanted to share with you tonight. Think about getting these things. Go to RaymondMhor.com, read that article. I've got a gigantic list of things that, for you to think about, things to maybe start stocking up on, pain relievers and so forth. That was another thing. Oh my goodness. Motrin. I was even looking for generic Motrin. Nothing. All I see is Tylenol. I don't know about you guys. Tylenol really doesn't do much. Tylenol is great for, getting rid of a fever, and that's about it. Motrin and ibuprofens and acetaminophen and everything is what helps with me and helps with Cynthia and stuff. And I was noticing that those things were gone too. So, but that's everything I have for you tonight. I do want to mention that we are going to start the shows later, starting next week. All of us were talking as show hosts and everything, and we were noticing that a lot of people start dropping into the shows later because they're just getting home and everything. So what we want to do for you guys is start the shows at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's 8 o'clock Eastern. That is 6 o'clock Mountain, 5 o'clock Pacific. So we're going to start the shows about a half hour later so that you guys have a chance to come in, watch the show, and check it out, because we want to make sure that you guys are seeing it. So starting next week, we will start the shows at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So that's everything. Tonight was how to get your medical preps in order. Start doing it now. So I get there. I'm Raymond Mhor. We'll see you. Goodbye. God bless. And kilt on.